What's up, everybody? Craig here with High Speed Daddy. First off, how awesome was that intro? We displayed it last week, but we forgot to start it ahead of time, so we played for you a little bit longer there into the episode. But this week we actually started it on time because the person that created it actually started it for us. So everyone thank Bess on our team. She did a great job making that for us, and she's behind the scenes producing today and whatnot. But I just want to thank Bess out in front of everyone because that's awesome. I never would have thought that I'd be involved or run a company that had something cool along those lines, because digital forte and like aesthetics is not my thing. But I just want to thank you for that, and I think that was awesome. If you guys thought that was awesome, leave a comment for me. What's up, Anthony? How you doing, brother? Where are you coming in from? Let us know. And speaking of that, I want to thank everyone for the High Speed Daddy community that's joining us today. Those of you over at Culture City, and from the High Speed Daddy Facebook group, Provide, Protect, Connect men's group over there. So thank you everyone for joining today. So some of you are just joining us and popping in, just seeing that we're live. Some of you are actually following that we put up little blurbs that say what we're talking about earlier in the week. Cool. Oh, coming in from Oklahoma. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you coming in and following us. So yes. Best is telling everyone. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments. I'm going to be popping back and forth and answering stuff and talking to people and stuff like that as well. So today we are talking about finding a little extra change in your pocket, or how to find a little extra change in your pocket for the holiday season that's coming up. And that's for buying gifts for people. Maybe you want to buy something special for yourself and you just don't have the money to just go out and buy that right now. So it's basically scrapping together little bits of change here and there, and what you could do to earn a little bit more money or just find a little bit more money. And that's not like go search underneath the cushions of your car or the couch, because there are a few dollars under there, but that's not going to count to anything. That's going to make a lot of impact on what you want to find, unless you start going old school and going like down to pay phones on the street and like checking for 25 cents here and there, if people even have payphones anymore. And you don't want to do that anyway because of COVID. Ugh. So anywho, I jotted down a few notes for today. There's a few different things you can do. There's 3 different topics I'll be talking about, or categories within that. Walk through the Walmart parking lot. Dude, I've done that before. You find lots of change doing that. People just drop stuff all over the place. But once again, let me get back to it. So there's something that you can do on finding a little extra cash. I'm not a financial guru. I'm not going to pretend to be a financial guru. I've always thought that I've managed money fairly well. I manage the finances within our company. I'm an acting CFO for our company here at High Speed Daddy. That we've been in business for more than 4 years, kind of is proof that I know a little bit about managing money. It's just one of those things I've always had interest in. I've read a bunch of books on it and things along those lines, and personal finance, business finance. So I have a little bit of experience. I'm not saying I'm a professional, but I do have a little bit of experience here. So one thing that you can do is really easy is start tracking your expenditures. What are you spending money on day in and day out, week in and week out, month in and month out? And that could be your monthly bills. That could be, going to Starbucks and grabbing a $5 or $7 coffee, how often you're doing that. Now, I'm not saying you need to cut everything out whatsoever. But if you want to sacrifice today for a better tomorrow, or save a little money today and use it towards something else, you need to start cutting back on a little bit of that stuff. So if you're going to Starbucks, if you're going to Tim Hortons, whatever it may be, and you're buying a $5 coffee every day, 5 days a week on the way to work or something like that, it's sometimes twice a day, whatever it may be, that's $35 a week if you're doing it 5 days. $25 a week if you're doing 5 days a week, right? So you add that together, that's $100 in a whole month that you could possibly save. That's just one example of cutting out a coffee and maybe making your own coffee. Now, yes, it costs money. You got to go buy the beans, you got to buy the pot, or if you already have that stuff, you got to spend the extra time. Maybe you got to wake up 5-10 minutes earlier and make yourself coffee. Maybe it doesn't taste as good. You never know. Maybe it's going to taste better. Anthony's chiming in again, tobacco and coffee. So I've got my own views on tobacco. I am the product of 2 parents that smoked religiously through my childhood. I'm talking like chain smoked, 1-2 packs a day, both of them. The amount of money that they could have saved by not smoking, is tremendous. However, I'm not going to complain because my parents provided me a decent lifestyle, right? I grew up in a middle-class family, probably even upper middle class, but I'm not going to complain about them smoking. However, I did notice a difference when they cut out smoking. That little extra pocket change that popped up here and there. That little extra pocket change that maybe I got a little extra toy or something like that when they quit that. So I'm not saying that you have to go out, Anthony, and cut out that tobacco immediately and do that, but there's a bunch of other things on top of that that's good as well, cutting out the tobacco, whether you're chewing, whether you're smoking. I don't need to get into the health benefits of cutting that stuff out of your life, right, brother? But you do know that there's a lot of money that could be saved there that you could apply to something else for yourself or for your family. And that goes into another stage of what your why is. Why are you saving? What are you saving for? Now, are you saving for that one gift just for your kid? Or are you saving to see that smile on their face when they open up that gift at Christmas time? Because that's the stuff that's priceless. Not the gift itself, but the act of seeing them happy. That's what's important. And if you use that as a why to lock in why you need to cut something out of your life or cut back on something, that's powerful. You're tapping into emotions there, right? So those are some quick things that you can run through your head on what's your why and what's more important. And like I said, sacrificing today for a better tomorrow. But tracking expenditures and then seeing what you're spending your money on and then cutting back on some stuff like that. So another thing that you could do. All right, I love this stuff because I used to do this stuff all the time. It's not so much on the yard sales and things. You can't really necessarily do stuff like that nowadays, but we're in a digital age, right? eBay, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace makes it too easy. These are all things you could go through your house and find oodles and oodles of things that you don't use and don't need anymore. There's that awesome paintball gun that you use twice. And you're like, oh, the next time I go paintball, and I'll use that gun again, which will be like 5 or 10 years from now, probably. Right? If you haven't used some, there's people that say if you haven't used something in 6 months, get rid of it. Right? Not only you can make some money off of it, you'll clear space in your mind, thinking about that every time you see it. Clear space in your house. You just have more room for things, literally, figuratively, things along those lines. Anthony jumping in. I love this guy. Anthony jumping in again, saying growing my own vegetables indoors and save tons on fresh products. Absolutely. Gardening. I garden. I love to garden. I garden every year, have a big garden, right? Lots of fresh vegetables. I don't necessarily do it for the money saving aspect. I do it because it was actually kind of bred into me a little bit. When I was younger, my grandparents had a farm and fruit stand, a farm and flower stand. So we used to raise vegetables, and that was my grandfather's way of showing us how to, one, never go hungry, but two, how to actually run a business, right? So there were some lessons that were built into that. But yes, absolutely, you could definitely do that. So getting back to it. So finding old stuff laying around the house that you don't use. This could be clothes. This could be tools. This could be games. This could be outdoor equipment, whatever it may be. If you haven't used it in forever, guilty. I still have stuff that I haven't used in forever that I'm like, someday I'm going to use it, and I'm not going to. Get rid of it. Because, actually the technology on that stuff is probably way surpassed. And you could go buy something new with it down the line when you actually get back into it, or maybe you'll never get back into it, right? But if you have stuff that's laid around your house that you haven't used in a while, throw it on the internet, Craigslist, Facebook. You don't even have to meet up with people anymore. You can put this stuff outside your door with an envelope taped to your door that says, leave money here after you guys negotiate a price on something. So, all right, Martin Potter getting in. You don't use my Ducati for 6 months. It's going this month. That's a tough one. I'm a motorcycle guy. I've never had a Ducati, but I've had numerous, bikes and stuff along those lines. And I don't know if I haven't used it for 6 months. I might still hold on to it because I got a Harley that I ride maybe once a month. And that kind of goes through my mind, like maybe I should get rid of it. But every time I get on it, brings me right back. Knees in the breeze, right, man? However, it depends what your motives are. If you're looking to buy something else, or you're looking to take that money and invest it into gifts for your family for the holidays, what's more important to you? And I can't answer that question for you. You guys have to answer that question. But, that's a big one there. And I know you're going to make some money off that Ducati too. Ducatis aren't cheap. That's not a old Honda that's been laid around. That's something nice there. It might hurt, but it depends how you look at it. Like you said, if you flip that around and say it hurts to get rid of it, but it's positive for what the money's going to go towards, then you can flip the script on that as well and think about it positively instead of negatively. So getting rid of that stuff. And you might be thinking, when do I have time to do all this? Listen, it's not about having time. It's about making time. Everyone's got the same 24 hours in a day. It's how you use that time efficiently. I've got 3 kids, 7 and under. I have a full-time business that I run. Like, I get it. I know about having a lack of time, right? But it's the things that you have to do. And I keep saying it's the sacrificing today for a better tomorrow, or what your why is. I'm going to find the time. I'm going to stay up later. I'm going to wake up earlier. I'm going to become more efficient with my time. I'm going to reprioritize what's important. Do I have to stay and watch an hour of Netflix, 2-3 hours Netflix a night? Do I have to play video games every night? Do I have to play video games multiple times a night? Do I have to watch that TV show? Do I have to go out with the guys? Do I have to go get a drink? Do I have to do social hour? What's important to you, right? And all that stuff could be important to you in some way, but maybe you just have to be more efficient and maybe cut back on it a little bit. So those are things that you could do to find more time. And since I don't want this episode to go on forever and ever and ever, I'm going to keep going with this, kind of go quick at it. So Martin Potter said, pays the import tax on high-speed daddy gear in the UK. So, so to get product here from the US to the UK, it's not only shipping costs, there's also customs and tariffs and stuff built into it going that way. And since we don't have formal international shipping hooked up right now, so in order to get our product there, and Martin's probably either getting it through eBay or through Amazon. And to do that, they have to pay not only the product price, they have to pay the import tax on that as well to get that in there. So I'm going to say thank you very much, Martin, for paying that little extra money. That doesn't go to me. That goes to the government, directly to the government. I don't see any bit of that. But thank you so much for seeing the value of our products, to pay that little bit extra money to get our product to you and rep it over it in the UK. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that. So getting back, so selling stuff. So it's not even just selling stuff online, it's finding stuff cheap online that you could flip, right? So the old adage, buy low, sell high, comes into play here. You can find, I used to do this on Craigslist a lot. I used to do it with cars every now and then. I love cars, motorcycles, things that you were talking about there, Martin, selling your Ducati and whatnot. I used to cruise the forums and cruise, Craigslist ads. And this was before Facebook Marketplace, but you can do it at Facebook Marketplace now as well, and find things that you think are undervalued or selling for low, and then buy them and then flip them for a little bit extra money. And that's just capitalism there. That's not that you're taking advantage of people or anything along those lines. And I wouldn't go in there and negotiate some super, super, super low price with them, or really, really haggle with them if you know that it's already at a low price and that you can make money on it. By all means, go ahead and do that if you want to do that. But if you think that that's a fair price to buy and that you can make money on it, just buy it right away and then move on, right? And then list it later, better photography, maybe fix something up a little bit, find a car that's beat up, not running right, a motorcycle, bicycle, lawnmower equipment that you could flip, and do things along those lines. Now, if you follow Gary Vaynerchuk at all, he's a famous online, social mogul and things along those lines. He's always talking about garage sailing or baseball cards. He's really into baseball cards. So baseball cards are coming back around. You still have those cards laying around, or if you know anything about that, whatever your hobby is, your niche, go deep in that and find a way that you can make a little bit of extra money in that. And you never know. It could turn into something like High Speed Daddy, right? Hunting and fishing items. Dude, you're a man of my heart. So I've done that as well. So I'm an outdoorsman. I have a lot of hunting and fishing gear, whether, tactical gear, things along those lines as well, which kind of bred into the hobby of high speed, turning the hobby into profit with High Speed Daddy and things along those lines. But hunting and fishing gear, definitely buying junk boats, making bow fishing rigs. Dude, there's tons of stuff that you could do out there, and tons of stuff that you guys could make a little bit of extra money by, finding things that you like and then selling it for a little bit more money. So, all right, knock those things out, knock that out. All right, and the last thing is just a good old part-time job. And this is like legit part-time job, not a cash job on the side. No, it could be a cash job on the side. And here, a little quick story. First 16 to 18 months, and I forget exactly what it is, that I started High Speed Daddy. We were very good. We had some home runs out of the bat, and this is designed luck, right? Such as we put the right work into it and we reap the rewards. I didn't pay myself for the first year and a half at least. Didn't take anything out of the business because we were scaling so quick that I reinvested everything right back into the business to provide most value for you guys, for the community of High Speed Daddy. Now, I still had at the time a 3 and a 1-year-old to support, and a wife, and a house, and a mortgage, and dogs, and bills to pay, and things like that. I worked every cash job I could find on the side. I plowed snow. I did cleanups. I did handyman utilities. I'm fairly technical and competent with my hands, building things, fixing things. I'd clean gutters. No job was beneath me. My pride was not so that it would get in the way of me doing anything to, one, complete my dreams, building this business so I can spend more time with my family, but two, to provide for my family. That's part of our adage, High Speed Daddy, provide, protect, connect. I do whatever I have to provide for my family. If things weren't working out with High Speed Daddy at all, I'd go pump gas if I have to put food on the table for my family. There's nothing above me. But that's how I looked at it. That's how I locked into locked in the emotional side of doing whatever it takes. So, find those cash jobs if you want. We're coming upon, at least here in the East Coast, northeast of USA, it's coming upon, fall, winter season. It's going to be snowfall soon. I used to snow plow left and right. I didn't know anything about snow plowing, and my buddy threw me right into a tractor and a truck right away saying, here's your 5-minute lesson. Now go plow snow. Now, it was decent money, but it was almost like blood money, because he'd be calling at 1 o'clock in the morning saying, we got to get out there and clear parking lots until 5 a.m. Motivation is a word. Absolutely. But, those cash jobs, helped out a lot on what I could do to find that little extra money to help out to pay those bills, or to still continue that lifestyle for the family. Now, I know there's a lot of people getting laid off, and all of these things also apply to people that are unemployed right now, furloughed right now, got laid off because of COVID and things like that. And a lot of these things could turn into that as well. So scraping together a little extra money so that your family could continue a similar lifestyle that you had before. But hey, let's get real for a second. Communication is the key. If you have that stuff going on right now, talk to people, reach out to people. And the more people you talk to, the more people you reach out to, the saying, I'm having a hard time making ends meet, or whatever it may be, or I'm looking to make a little extra money on the side. The more people you talk to, the more people that might have something for you to do. You'd be surprised. The last couple of people that joined our organization, High Speed Daddy, came to us saying, listen, we're having a hard time right now. Is there anything that you have extra going on? You better believe I found some stuff for them to do. Right. I found stuff for them to help out with so that I could help them out. Right. Now, if you do that with organizations, it's not just looking online for jobs and whatnot. It's actually going out there and prospecting of sorts, going out to the pizzeria. Hey, you need someone to wash your dishes? Yeah, I did that. $6.25 an hour when I was 18 years old. Yeah. They weren't listing a job, but I needed to make some money. And that's what I did. I walked from door to door, in strip mall until someone employed me. Right. So you got to have that motivation, as Anthony said before. And if you go out there, you can, and the more people you talk to and communicate with, and to put your pride aside and be a little bit vulnerable and just tell people what's up, they'd be looking to help out. You'd be surprised how many people are looking to help others out in this world. They just don't know how. And yes, cash jobs. So let alone the cash jobs, actual part-time jobs, and what I was just kind of referencing a little bit there. And that could be Uber. You can find things along those lines. But yeah, those part-time jobs that you can scrape together a couple hours, 3 to 5 hours a week, and that money adds up. $50 here, $50 there, $100 here, $100 there. And you might not get paid a lot. It's a part-time job, right? You might not get paid, a lot of money doing it, but that stuff adds up. If you start now, you can accumulate a little bit of extra money over the next month or two before Christmas comes, before the holidays come, Hanukkah, and things along those lines. So wrapping up, I'll just quickly repeat because we're a little bit over 20 minutes now and I don't want to take everyone's time. So track expenditures. What are you spending your money on? Go find out what you could cut out or cut back on to save a little bit of extra money. And what you do is when you find that extra money, if you cut out that pack of tobacco a week, and I don't even know what a pack of smokes are going for, or a carton of smokes, are going for, stuff like that. Let's say it's $10, $20 a week, something like that. don't just let that get fiddled away and it, get lost in the mix. Take that money that you would have spent on that pack of cigarettes, on the tobacco, on those drinks, on that coffee, $30 a week, put it aside, put it in the shoebox, put it in a separate account, and then keep adding money to that account so it's separate. That's the not touch account, because you're saving that for something specific, right? So that's track expenditures. All right, next one is flipping stuff that you haven't used in a while, or buying and selling things online. So repeating that again, going to find things that you haven't used in the house in a while, go list it online on eBay, on Craigslist, on Facebook Marketplace. Those are easy things to figure out. The Facebook Marketplace is probably the easiest, because most people, if you're watching this, you have a Facebook account. You can go on Facebook Marketplace and list something for sale. And the last one is finding an actual job, J-O-B, cash jobs or actual paid jobs under a tax ID, whatever it may be, and making a little bit of extra money on the side there. So those are 3 quick things that you guys could do, that anyone could do to make a little bit of extra money for the holiday season that's coming up, or just in general. Okay. If anyone's got questions like this, leave it in the comments here. I love talking about this. You see how excited I am. Unfortunately, my partner in these Facebook Lives, Corey, couldn't make it today. George is busy doing George stuff as well, and I love talking personal finance and financials. So go into the comments. If you got any questions, leave it there in the comments, and I'll personally return that. Message me, DM me, whatever it may be, and we'll get back to you, and I'll see how I can help you guys out with the information that I have. And if I don't know it, I will find it for you. All right. Thank you for joining today, everybody. And I will see everyone next time, 4:30 Eastern time on Wednesday next week. All right. Thank you, everybody. Catch you later.